Hello and welcome back to Factory Town. In our last episode, we spent a little bit of time with mining, deep mining specifically, because we had burned through all the iron here, and while yes, I could and probably at some point will mine the iron that's over here, these tiny pieces over here, and such, I didn't want to fiddle with it at the point we were at the last time, so instead I just put in a mine, and I'm doing deep core mining here. And we're doing the same thing for the same reasons here with stone, and hopefully those hold out. We also then finished our setup over here of eggs. So now we are able to produce, we will be able to produce all the eggs that we could ever need. And then we came over here out into the watery areas and produced some cooked fish also. We don't have any fuel coming in there yet. We have plenty of trees nearby and coal also, but I think my plan is going to be to set up a coal distribution system, or a fuel distribution system, and bring that around to wherever we have all of the train stations at for all of these items as part of building the train system. So as I was ending, or after I ended yesterday's episode, I noticed something. We're up to all of our workers. And while I could take some of the workers out of some of the farms and things like that, I didn't really want to. So what I want to do today is take a detour from our mega base setups. Well, maybe not full detour, but take a detour from our mega base resetups at least, and set up the mana crystal manufacturing. That way we can at least make a few, so that we can do the space upgrade to get 5 more houses. 5 more houses? Yeah, 5 more houses, and then figure out what's the next thing we need for the base. And so along that line, I went ahead and started up the mana purification research here, and as you can see, we are hauling butt on that right now. So hopefully that'll be done pretty soon. It is getting 580. Interesting. It's like triple the bonus, because it's getting 480, which is triple the 160 bonus on top of the 100% normal of the worker. I didn't notice that before, but apparently the school gets an extra bonus compared to everything else. Or is that because we're using books or something? No, I don't know why. But either way, we're going to let that go ahead and finish, and it should be done almost pretty soon, because I started it just before I started the recording. So after we do that, then we'll come back to the food market. I think we talked about rebuilding chicken and beef next, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at those after we're done with this. And of course, just like everything else, we need to figure out how much of each item we're going to need. We could do that, at least the basicness of it. And let's see, that is cooked chicken is a quality tier 4, cooked beef is a quality tier 4, so that means we need one of each every 40 to 140 seconds, which is going to be pretty nice to have when the time comes, because if I remember correctly, these aren't very fast. Although we can do the pasture upgrades to make them a bit faster. Yeah, 10 seconds each for the beef, and 5 seconds each for the chicken. Yeah, so we're going to want to upgrade those a few times, but we're going to have to do a lot of kitchen work, because these each take 5 seconds to cook. If we add the steam booster, then we're going to end up getting, we unlock the magic forge and the void obelisk. Okay, let's go take a look at those. We're going to end up getting 6 items per 5 seconds, and we're going to need 40. We're going to need 100 every 40 seconds. So that's about, well, it's actually 2.5 per second. And each one of these kitchens is going to give us 6 every 5 seconds, which is 1.2 per second. So actually it'll be like 2 kitchens of each, which is not as much as I thought it was going to be. All right, so let's take a look at this mana, whatever it's called thing. mana something? Mana Forge. Magic Forge. And the Void Obelisk too, but we can't do that yet because we need the mana bricks, which I'm assuming we can make here. So the Magic Forge processes magical items using heat and pressure. Let's come out to some empty space, and maybe up here or something, and set this up. We have no workers to assign to it, so I'm going to have to borrow some workers from someplace. Maybe one of those fields over here. Yeah, I put 2 in each of these. Let's take those out. We'll redo that math sometime later. There's only 2 in this one also. Well, we really used up all of our workers. And I think I only have 1 in each of those. We don't need the 1 in here. And these workers are still hopping around trying to deliver. Yeah. Trying to clear up all those trees. Okay, back over here we go. Let's put our worker in. So this can make mana crystals, which is what we need, and mana bricks, which is the thing that the Void Obelisk took, was mana bricks. What else are mana bricks used for? A stone brick imbued with magical energy, used for constructing many magical buildings. Well, we're going to need some of those then. But we need the mana crystals first, no matter what, because they're used in making the mana bricks. And we also need fuel. So let's see, if we do just one of these machines for now, this is going to be another one of those temporary setups. We have the mana shards, which is what we need here. We're going to have to mine those. And it takes blue coins, which is a good thing we have 100,000 of them. And then 10 fuel, which is not cheap. We have coal there. Maybe we'll go over here and set this up. Come hither. We have mana crystals over here. We have stone over here, or coal over here. That should be a good place to start with, at least. And then we can go from there. I'm assuming that these are one of the items that are the hard items that a worker can't mine. But just, yeah, worker can't mine. But a harvester drill should be able to. Nope, workers. Yes, it can. So we could use harvester drill for the mana shards, harvester drill for the coal. That's not really what I wanted you to do, but also we need to select the recipe. We'll get closer in there. It might be better. So we can harvester drill this stuff. And we can... Oh, no population capacity. These take 4 people each. Yes, they do. 2 people each. Okay, well that's not what I wanted to see. So maybe instead we use a mine. Problem with using a mine is going to be... In order for the mine to mine mana shards, it's going to cost red coins, and coal's going to cost yellow coins. So I'm not that thrilled about that either, and plus, these only take 2 workers, not 4, like I was trying to complain about. So I think what we really just need to do is take some more workers out of some of these buildings. We obviously don't need to make any of this stuff right now. That'll buy us 3 more workers, which should get us there. And then we can come back over here. Maybe I'll rotate it this way. Yeah, we'll go that way. Let's put our harvester drills back down. And there they go. They're making. So then let's put these in a barn because I want them to be accessible to the world. And I wonder, can I? No, of course not. Why would I be able to do that? Not that it matters, because these are only producing 1 every 8 seconds anyway. So cloth conveyor belt is more than enough speed for that anyways. And there they go. So once we get 20 of those made, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and fill the barn up. Or should I? Maybe I shouldn't. I'll just do 1 stack for now, because I don't know how much we're going to need them right away. But that was surprisingly easier than I thought it was going to be. So now if we come back over here, since we get to 20 of those, then we can do that base upgrade and build some more houses. Which means by the way, that we need to build more platform. I guess I could do that while those are getting made. I wonder if there's a way to turn off the little coin pop-up things there, especially while you're deep in here working. That would be nice. Nope. I said no. Okay. This requires a surprising amount of focus, because otherwise you end up doing crazy things like that. Yep, the base is now signaling that it can be upgraded. Wonder if I was at a shallower angle if it would be easier. If I could see what's going on, it would help too. One more? Yeah, one more. Click the wrong button then. Of course, if I wanted to build these more spread out, that would also be a better idea too, but hey. I didn't want to stack the houses on top of each other, that is. Alright, let's build that up like that. And we'll call that good enough for now. We'll deal with it better when we do the rebuild later. Okay, so now we should be able to take base upgrade, house max increased by 5, new research available, mana transmission. All right, well that's new, obviously, because it said so. Do these upgrades if I don't run out of materials. There we go. So the next base upgrade, by the way, requires enchanted purple coins. So we need to start selling specialty goods, I think. Enchanted books and mana bricks. So we do have to make the mana bricks. But now we can work on chicken and beef, I think, because we now have another 50 people that we can employ. So I think I'll stay consistent and build the chicken and beef over in this general area, maybe. Although, maybe I'll build it on this coast over here. The only issue is there's not a whole lot of clear space here, and I definitely want these coastal because and I really want this coast. So maybe, I don't like it. Maybe I do maybe do it over here then. Let's see what we actually need for this. So, we need pasture, that's to start with. And it's got to be put here on the coast someplace so that we can use the water. We're probably going to have to still supplement it with more water, as we've learned, but let's do the raw chicken. We also need the kitchen, I suppose. That would be a good place to go with that. We can do one of those here. So the kitchen, cooked chicken. The kitchen, we decided we needed to have 2 kitchens. No, let me do it this way. 2 kitchens. Each kitchen is going to require 1 chicken, or rather 6 chickens once we get the speed upgraded and the steam boosted. 6 raw chicken every 5 seconds. This conveniently produces 1 raw chicken every 5 seconds, which means we need to get this equal to a 6x multiplier, at least, if we want to make it 1-to-1, and I kind of would. So right now this is that's the equivalent of 600%, which is 1.5. So really all we need is 1 upgrade? I think all we need is 1 upgrade on these pastures. because that will be the happiness bonus of 160 plus the 100 is 260. The happiness bonus of 160 plus 100 is 260, and then times 1.5, and that's what this is also getting us, is 1.5. So really all we need here is a single upgraded pasture for each for each of these raw chicken. And while we could do a pasture upgraded a few more times, perhaps, I kind of like this idea of it not being as insane of a setup. So if we have that, I don't know how much water these are going to get, whether we're going to supplement them or not, but we can do that when we go around and hook these things all up and actually see the full draw. So the next thing we need to measure out is animal feed. So we need to have 6 every 5 seconds. So we need to have 12 animal feed every 5 seconds. Well, we just did that per pasture. That means we need 2 boosted grain mills, because that'll make these at 600%, which means that we'll be producing 6 animal feed every 2 seconds. So that means 2 grain mills per pasture. So we could do, and that's a hill, so I definitely don't want that there. Possibly over here. And then we're going to need the two farms, 1 farm each. Wait a minute. I'm still bothered by the differences here. And I'm still bothered by the math. And we talked about it in the chat for yesterday's episode. And I'm still not sure that I have this right. So maybe I should go through this math one more time with everyone here. So you need 2 flour times 6, because we're going to boost this to 600%. So you need 2 flour times 6, 12 flour every 4 seconds. That means that the grain mill, which is also boosted times 6, needs to produce 6 here and 6 here in order to provide enough for 1 kitchen, which is perfect. And that means that it's 18 every 4 seconds here. So we need to have 18 grain every 4 seconds, which means we need to have 4.5 grain per second. Yes, 4.5 grain per second. The farm, with the math we did on the farm tiles, you know what? I think that I had the math right the first time. We need 18 grain every 4 seconds. That's 4.5 grain per second. The farm can produce, or each farm tile can produce 7 grain every 26.67 seconds, but just for ease of math, we're going to call it every 28 seconds, which means that each farm tile can produce 1 grain every 4 seconds. So 4 farm tiles equals 1 grain per second. Now we needed to have 18 grain every 4 seconds, which is 4.5 grain per second. So the 18 farm tiles that we had on the math originally is correct. Per farm. So I need to not have all those farm tiles. So we spent stuff on them that we didn't need to spend, but who cares? So next, let's come over here. This needs 6 animal feed every 3 seconds, which is a half an animal feed per second. No, wait. We've done 3 boosts to this, and we're going to do the 4th one. So that puts this at... I might not have done this enough. We needed to have 100 eggs every... Gosh, what was the number on the eggs? Quality tier 1. 100 eggs every 20 seconds. That means 5 eggs per second. Which means this is producing or 100 eggs every 30 seconds, which means 3.33 eggs per second. So somewhere between 3.33 and 5 eggs per second. I think we wanted to get it at 4, which means we need this to produce 12, which means, no, that was correct, because it's 260 times 2.5. And if we get this up one more time, it'll be 400 times 3. 260, 2.6 times, or 260 times 2.5 is 650. And that's what that is. So we just need to get that up to one more upgrade, and then that's producing 12 eggs, because it'll be a 12x multiplier. That'll be producing 12 eggs every 3 seconds, which is 4 per second, which was the target we were looking for. So that means we need 12 animal feed every 3 seconds, excuse me. So that's, once again, 4 per second. This, without the steam boosters, was going to produce 4 every 2 seconds, which is 2 per second. And we needed 4 per second, so we have 2 of these. These are then going to require 8 grain every 2 seconds, which is 4 per second. In order to produce 4 per second per farm, we need to have 16 farm tiles, because it takes 4 farm tiles to produce 1 per second. So yeah, I did have the math on this one done originally correctly. I jacked it up somehow when I was looking at this one, which I still don't really understand how I did, but I apologize for that. So the original math of 18 farm tiles per farm is apparently correct. Someone please check my math, please. And 16 for each of these, which we have. So back to this mess now. We need to have this producing somewhere between 100 every 30 to 80 seconds. If we try every 30 seconds, then that is 3.33 cooked chicken per second. This is going to get us, wait a minute, 30, no, I'm sorry. Cooked chicken is tier 4, which was every 40 seconds, 40 to 140 seconds. So we needed to have 100 every 40 seconds, which is 2.5 per second. We decided to do 2 of these, which will get us, once they're fully boosted, which will get us 2.4 per second, which is enough. Because we only needed between 2.5 and as low as whatever 100 divided by 140 is, pretty minuscule. So we're gonna easily be happy with 2 of these. So that means we need to have 6 raw chicken every 5 seconds, which means we need to have this boosted times 6, which we're going to get to easily enough. And then we're going to do 6 times 2, which is 12 animal feed. 12 animal feed, I think, is the same as what we were going to... No, this is only going to be 8. So 12 animal feed per second means a speed-boosted... 2 speed-boosted grain mills. These were not speed-boosted. These need to be speed-boosted. And so we need to have 6 times 2, which is 12 every 2 seconds, times 2 of these. That's 12 per second. 12 per second is 12 times 4. Total. Sorry, 6 times 4, so that's 24 in each. 24 farm tiles for each grain mill. No. 24 grain. Yeah, that's right. 24 grain, which is... okay, Wally. 12 grain per grain mill. And in order to get 12 grain... 12 grain per grain mill every 2 seconds. 6 grain per grain mill every second. In order to get 6 grain per second, we need to have 24 farm tiles. So why is this 18? Oh, because this is 4 seconds, and this is 2 seconds. That's what threw me off the last time. Okay, back to sanity. So, 2 grain, 2 farms, basically set up the same as this, only they need 24 tiles. And those only have 16. So I think the place to do this is to move this one over by one more. Maybe even put these together. Like that. Move these over here someplace. Yeah, I really need to either pick up or delete these resources. The problem is doing what I was doing here with all the workers. Although I guess I could use a harvester drill in this case with the coal. But as you can see, these workers are still working hard. We'll upgrade that barn. Or actually, they're not working hard because stuff is full. Put down another barn. Put down another chute here. And then we'll let them all get back to work. There. And this one's going to need the same eventually. Why are you stuck? Oh, that's why they're all stuck. Let's do something like this, maybe? I don't really want stone paths there. Okay, that's why. Now they can kind of share a little bit. Alright, so maybe if I got another barn, I put it kind of want it out of the way for the farms, but I guess we'll have to go there. And a harvester drill. And that can get to work there. I may end up leveling this area here in order to get the farms in, but I don't know that I will have to if I'm creative with this. If I did a farm something like this, or like that, I only need to have 24, and I can easily get 24 in, so I could even put these right up next to each other. That might be the best option all around. Maybe I just do a little bit of terraforming right here to make sure they get this one down on the ground. Oh, that one's already on the ground. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, now I just want to put one right here. That'll be the 4th one. And then I can just do some farms like this. They don't have to be that far away. Problem is, these are burning through workers like crazy. I really do hope we're going to have enough workers. These are all overlapped, but I think if I get 24 times 4... into all of those areas. I mean, they all overlap by those 2 areas. I could even, like, focus out here to the outside a little bit extra. And that way, like... that's 1, 2, 3... times 4... plus some up front. I can... well, that's only 24, though. I need to be able to get... I'll figure it out. But I think I might just, like, line this whole back area here with them. And hope that they share well enough together that it all works out in the end. But I think that will work in some form at least. And then we just need to do a belt here. We need to do chutes coming from each of the grain mills. They're going to produce... six animal feed. These also need to have grabbers on them so that they can be filtered properly. Should do that before I forget later. But I think I'll leave them as nothing filters. This goes here. That goes there. Just straight in like that. We're probably going to need 2 chutes per grain mill, similar to what we have. Or maybe not. Yeah, because this is only 4. We might need 2 chutes per grain mill. So maybe I do this one and this one. And then we have 2 coming from here onto this sides, maybe on each side. And then we just do chutes going into each grain mill from each farm. Each one is going to need... Each one's going to need 2 or 3, because we're going to output... Let me click one that actually has it. 6 per second. Yeah, I think we're going to need 2 chutes each, because these are also outputting. They're outputting 6 every 2 seconds. These probably only actually needed to be 1 chute. Oops. You go there, you come out. You go like this. Because it's only 3 each. 3 per second each. Maximum speed. But we'll probably do need 2 chutes for each of these. So something like that, and then there's, of course, still the 4th one right there. Wow, that's full already. Oh, I forgot how... how... I don't know, whatever the word is here. Dense the... coal is. And, yeah. We didn't even get through 1 before it filled up that barn. So... I don't know. I need to come up with some like central storage area for these or something, and attempt to standardize that somehow. And like as I'm mining or collecting up trees and wow, that's full already too. As I'm collecting up trees and coal and things that are in the way. The problem is I don't have any trains built, so shipping is not really a thing right now. And it's all barns. Like, there's not a storage that's... Well, actually, there kind of is. A train station... We have one over here. A train station can hold 200 items per slot, which means that's 1,600 items per train station. Compared to a barn that's been upgraded how many times? Somewhere over here. What is that? 1, 2, 3 times. Is just now at 800. The only difference is the cost of the train station is 50 iron and 50 planks. Whereas the cost of the barn with all the upgrades that we've done actually is like 20 iron, 20 stone, 20 planks, plus... Where's the barn at? I think I scrolled past it. Nope, it's down here. Plus 10 and 10 more. So it's not really that much. I mean, it's more expensive on the iron, but not that much more expensive. So maybe it's worth just building a few train stations and like in an unpopulated area or in a sparsely populated area, maybe even over here in the desert, and shipping all the temporary, like setting up some temporary rails at least, shipping all of the coal and all of the, we've already finished that one too. Jeez. All the coal and all the stone and all the trees and whatever else that I'm chopping down. I messed that up. Shipping all that to a central location. And just using train stations as storage there. So maybe we could do that next time. But this is basically it. We just need to plant our grain fields and turn on our filters, and then we need to also be able to ship out the fertilizer from this once we start it up. But I'm not going to bother starting all these things up just now, because then they just end up stopping and it doesn't really matter. So I think we can start them all up as we hook them up properly. Once we go around and start hooking everything up properly. Which, I don't know, other than the things that are used for building, we could technically stop making stuff here. But anyway, next time we're going to look at beef, which takes 10 seconds. So that means we're going to need 4 pastures, or we're going to need to upgrade the pastures more, which might even be the better option. Actually, that's probably the better option. Upgrade the pastures instead of just once, upgrading them 3 times? Yeah, because instead of 600, we need 1200, and then just have 2 pastures making beef, and because that makes the beef prep time here, instead of 10 seconds to make 1, that means 10 seconds to make 12, which is 6 seconds to make, or sorry, 5 seconds to make 6, which is exactly what we need here for cooked beef once this is all boosted up. So that might be the best option in the for the beef, is to just do the upgrades on this like we did the upgrades on the eggs. Although we can't do the last one until we start making the earth crystals, but that's fine. We'll deal with that when the time comes. But that's where we're going to end this for today. Next time we'll work on beef, and maybe we'll set up those temporary rails, shipping that stuff out of the way. Otherwise, I can just delete it. It's not a huge deal. The only thing that I don't like is that with the deep mining, they do have to be near where an existing patch was. So we need to keep track somehow of the patches we remove, because we may need them, at least some of them, in order to do enough deep mining later to get enough coal and to get enough iron, and possibly stone as well. I'm not so much concerned about things like mana shards and elemental stones, but we might need that to be there for it to do deep mining. But we'll deal with that when the time comes, I suppose. We're not going to get all the patches on the map, that's for sure. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.